to the 95th Realism's on-free ACRE tutorial. I'll be showing you how to use the ACRE radios and how ACRE affects voice in game. I'm not going to show you how to install with this, just going to show you how to use it. Alright, so you don't have any radios with this right now. So the first thing you got to do is find one of these radio boxes. Access the inventory, and it has all different types of radios in here that you can get. So we're going to go ahead and pick up an ArmA 343. It has the weakest signal of all radios in the game, and it also has the shortest wave, so it's a very weak signal radio. Alright, now once you get your radio picked up, you press Shift Control X on your keyboard. That brings up the radio interface. This is how you can change your channels or the volume of your radio. This knob right here. By left clicking, you go up channels, all the way up to channel 16. And go back down channels by right clicking. This knob here allows you to change volume. Right clicking lowers, left clicking raises volume. By default, it's already at the highest volume. This is the easiest radio to use, but it also has the weakest signal. Another thing to note about this radio, channel 1 on a 343 radio can only talk to channel 1 on other 343 radios. Channel 1 on a 343 radio cannot talk to channel 1 on a long range radio. It's different frequencies, and you can't change frequencies on one of these. Alright, once you get that set the way you like it, just going to press caps lock, and when you press caps lock, that allows your voice to be transmitted over the radio, such as this. When you hear that beep, lets you know your radio is working. And then anyone else on the same channel with you as one of these radios can hear everything you're saying via radio transmission. That sound lets you know that the transmission is completed. Alright, another thing to keep in mind when using these radios is depending on where you're at, especially with this short range radio, frequency could get blocked or bounced off of buildings or hills. See, where we're at right now is quite a few buildings around me. If I'm standing here using this radio, the person I'm trying to talk to though is over here behind the container. The radio frequency for them is probably going to be a little bit fuzzy just because of the fact that it's a very weak radio. It's probably the equivalent of like a walkie-talkie. You're in a flat open area, it'd probably work a little bit better, but in an area like this, urban area or a very hilly area, it does not work much. Alright, next radio we're going to take a look at is the 148 radio. It comes in a UHF or a VHF variant. Alright, VHF variant looks a lot better on flat open areas such as a desert. UHF variant works a lot better in urban areas or hilly areas. It's the same radio, it's just the wavelength is a bit different, so depending on where you're going to be at, that's what you need to select the radio by. Since we're in an urban area here, I'm going to go ahead and select, I'm just going to select the VHF for this. So. Now this radio, you press your Shift Control X key combination. Alright, now I've got my original radio still. In order to switch to my new radio that I just picked up, I'm going to press Shift Control S, and then that indication in the bottom right of the screen lets me know that I'm on my new radio. Or alternatively, if I don't want two radios, I can drop my old radio on the ground. Alright, now that I have this radio, press my Shift Control X key combination and bring it up. Down arrows, you move down channels, up arrows, you move up channels. This goes all the way up to channel 100. By pressing mode and mode again, I can adjust the power level on this radio. 5,000 is maximum power. I usually just set it to 5,000. Once you get this radio all configured, press your Shift Control X key combination to exit that. Once again, the transmission works the same, such as this. Alright, now next radio I'm going to show you is the man pack radio, ANPRC 119. Very similar, these are exactly the same radios that we had in ArmA 2, except that these radios, there's not as many, such as the digital impact radio, is not yet on ArmA 3. Again, press to control execute combination. If you use this radio in ArmA 2, you know how to program it. If not, this knob right here, by left clicking, I can move up power modes or down power modes. High is the highest power mode you can use on foot. PA is available inside vehicles. That's how it was in ArmA 2. Not sure if that's implemented in ArmA 3 yet. And for your channels, left click to move up channels, right click to move down channels. And once again, transmission looks the same. Alright, now, I showed you the basics of how these radios work. Now I'm going to show you how it really works. If I'm just standing here talking to someone, say there's a guy standing next to that flagpole, I'm just talking to him. We're just standing here talking like this, he'll hear me like he would in real life. He'll just hear my voice. Now, if we're standing next to this vehicle, for instance, and the engine is running, I'm going to do that very quickly. Standing right by this engine and talking, I have to talk a little bit louder so it can be heard over the engine. Or outside the vehicle. I'm talking to someone inside the vehicle. They're inside there with the engine running, so they're probably not going to hear me just standing here. The best option would probably be to get in the back of the vehicle and just talk to them like this. When you're inside the vehicle, you can talk to other people in the vehicle and they can hear you just fine. This vehicle, you can talk to someone outside. If you talk very loudly, they can hear you. But if you turn off the engine, for example, then they'll probably be able to hear you. It's not true for every vehicle, just wheeled vehicles. Alright, allow me to demonstrate why that's not true on every vehicle. Alright, this is M2A1 Slimer tank. Now I'm going to show you that ACRE has to do with this. It's actually kind of cool. If I'm inside this tank, and I'm inside here and I'm talking, no one outside this tank is going to be able to hear a word I'm saying because it's sealed armor. If I do want to talk to somebody outside, what I can do is, for example, into the commander seat, I could turn out. And when I'm turned out, I could talk to everybody outside just like I normally would. But if I'm turned back in, the only people that can hear me are the people inside the tank. And if the engine's running, they might not even be able to hear me. That's the basics of how ACRE works. Now to demonstrate what I was talking about earlier, with the different environments of how your radio is going to work, I'll take you to a couple different places to show you, for example, how certain type of radio is probably going to work. Alright, if you see where we are right now, we're on a very open, flat salt plain. Now on this salt plain, even a 343 is probably going to be able to talk to someone on the other side of it because it's perfectly flat. There's not a single thing on it. In an area like this, it would be possible to use such a 343 radio or another shortwave radio for long distances. Like a desert, where there's no urban fighting going on, you could probably use 343s and be alright for about a long while. Now, I'm going to show you another environment where a 343, for example, is not bumpable. Alright, now this environment right here is a very hilly, very steep terrain. Now, if I've got a short range radio, such as 343, even a backpack radio in this very hilly landscape, down in the valley, I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody outside the valley because the radio signals are going to ricochet off the mountains, bounce around in the valley, they're not going to get anywhere. If I want to talk to somebody, my only option is to get to the top of one of these hills. On the top of the hill, I can send transmissions to people down in the valleys or people on the other side of the map. But the problem with that is they can't send transmission back up the valley because of the nature of the hills. So communications in a very hilly area can sometimes get complicated even one-sided.